Things to consider when using video media. 1. In the classroom, video media should not be used as a complete substitute for the teacher. When students have viewed the media, there should be activities. Activities such as discussion, answering questions, doing activities with the teacher waiting recommend, provide close assistance, and help summarize. 2. Have students watch each video. It shouldn't take a long time. It shouldn't take more than 15 to 20 minutes at most. If the content is long, may be divided into periods and organize intervention activities. 3. Video media can be presented through a computer monitor, which is convenient to stop moment and continue watching. Teachers may organize activities by dividing students into groups to meet their interests and needs. Ability to learn. Have each group watch and do the activity together. The teacher can give advice and give advice. Help separate it into groups instead of doing activities together for the whole class. Usina questions. To develop mathematical thinking, human beings need to use their minds to live in society very much. A successful life is the result of using your mind effectively. Therefore, practicing skills thinking is therefore extremely important, and mathematics is an abstract subject that related to thought, rational methods and processes. It's one kind of language and is a tool of various fields of science. Mathematics has content that encourages people to think, act and solve problems. Foster thinking and reasoning. For this reason, mathematics has been included in the curriculum since primary education level to tertiary level, because mathematics is necessary for development, human ability to apply knowledge in daily life and lead to progress in various fields.
Thinking is an internal behavior that arises from the brain's response mechanisms to various stimuli. That happens all the time. It is a process that occurs from the brain's work in gathering, organize information and various experiences to create a shape or image that is a story in the mind and communicated using words or expressions. The installation is divided into 2 types. Purposeless thinking is an addiction that has no goal or purpose. This type of thinking often has no conclusions, and the results of thinking cannot be used to benefit. And thinking with purpose, thinking to find answers, plan, solve problems, or find guidelines. Achieving success in doing something, it is useful thinking and has good quality. Then thinking without purpose. Thinking skills are a person's ability to express or demonstrate required behavior. Thoughts which are made up of small, sequential actions, while the thought process thinking that is complex and carrying out activities in a sequence or process. This requires the foundation of thinking skills and many aspects of thinking to be combined together. Therefore, the thought process must have a system and steps, and be ingenious in order to find a way to solve problems, answers, or conclusions. And it can be said that the thinking process is a matter of using skills. High-level thoughts such as critical thinking and decision-making, acting, problem-solving, creative thinking, thinking ponder, reflective thinking. Teaching to make students develop thinking skills, or teaching that makes students think. It is a matter it's quite difficult, more complicated than you think. This is because the thought process is not characterized by content specific that teachers can easily see or teach easily, because thinking is a process. Therefore, teaching to make students think will be successful only if teachers organize learning systematically. There are steps to take as well, gradually accumulating the student's thinking skills. There is a layered atmosphere, learning that is conducive to allowing students to think about answers. Which must be the answer that comes from the analysis and arrangement category and process information about it before answering questions, which at present is a method for developing skills in think. For students often combined with various subjects rather than being organized into specific subjects or inserted while teachers organize teaching and learning. Show that the role of the teacher is considered to be the key to successful development of students' thinking. One technique that teachers can use to develop students' stick division skills is using questions. Because using questions can be considered a method used by mathematics teachers to manage subject learning. Mathematics regularly suitable for mathematical content that is quite abstract. Students can find it quite difficult to learn on their own. But from the direct experience of the author who has done research for the Institute for the Promotion of Teaching Science and Technology, IPST, regarding the evaluation of mathematics teacher. Training Intermediate Course 1 to 2 of IPST and had the opportunity to observe teaching from teachers in various provinces. It was found that the teaching techniques that most teachers used were using questions and asking answer with explanation by using teachers' questions while teaching to help develop knowledge and understanding about traveling with concept mathematical principles, or the ability to solve problems that can actually be taught. But it was found that most teachers gave students limited time to think without using questions. To explore or climb the level of thinking or using high-level questions is just a closed-ended question. Yes or not? Is it correct? What is it? Equal to how much? Anyone can answer or not. And it's not a challenging question. Guess students' thoughts. The following sample teacher questions are asked by primary school teachers. And at the secondary level, it has been used to ask real students in mathematics classes, which includes questions in the form it is closed-ended, requiring only answers and questions that promote thinking skills for the learner. But it was found that most teachers gave students limited time to think without using questions. To explore or climb the level of thinking or using high-level questions is just a closed-ended question. Yes or not? Is it correct? What is it? Equal to how much? Anyone can answer or not. And it's not a challenging question. Guess students' thoughts. The following sample teacher questions are asked by primary school teachers. And at the secondary level, it has been used to ask real students in mathematics classes, which includes questions in the form it is closed-ended, requiring only answers and questions that promote thinking skills for the learner. This may be the case. This is because the student lacks experience with questions like this. For the student, he must thinking and planning decisions by yourself is not an easy task. Students need time and practice to develop, and another important part of organizing thinking is that teachers also need to develop techniques for using words that provide guidance. At the same time, it stimulates interest and encourage students to think about solving problems on their own and then use how should I ask the question. Questions that teachers can use to guide students as they engage in activities and at the same time It stimulates mathematical thinking and provides information to teachers about what students know and think. However, Badham proposed categorizing the questions into 4 categories as follows. 1. Starter questions. 2. Questions to stimulate mathematical thinking. 3. Measurement and evaluation questions. Assessment questions. 4. Final discussion questions. 1. Initial questions. The initial questions help frame students' minds within the boundaries of what we want and give starting points so that students will know where they should start. Examples of initial questions include: how should students group these geometric figures? Students will find how many ways to divide the given figure into 2 equal parts. What will happen to the area of a circle if its diameter is doubled? What pictures can be put together? Set 6 square images. These images can be assembled into different unfolded images. How many types of rectangular shapes can there be? 2. Mathematical thought-provoking questions. These types of questions help students focus on a strategy or tactic in particular and helps students observe patterns and relationships, which helps build a conceptual framework. These types of questions can be used as helpers when students can't think of anything. When students can't think, instead of using questions that stimulates mathematical thinking, many teachers can't help but tell or teach, which acts like this in addition to not helping to stimulate thinking. It also makes students accustomed to not having to think for themselves. So when students can't think or can't do it, teachers should use questions that stimulate thinking, such as: picture given here. What are the same? What are the differences between the given pictures? Do students notice the pattern? How will this pattern help students find the answer? What do you think the next picture will be? Why? How will students record what they have found? It will help students see more patterns. Students can bring the pictures given here. Can you come and organize a group? 3. Measurement and evaluation questions. This type of question asks the student to explain what he is doing, or ask if he can. How did the answer come? It allows teachers to know what students think. What do students understand? And knowledge level. What is the level of understanding of the students? This measurement and evaluation question is suitable to use when students have progress in activities has already reached a certain level, might have already done some questions. Is there a way to show how to do it? At least one sample answer has been received. Questions for measurement and evaluation, such as: what did the students discover? How do students find it? Why do students think like that? What made the students decide to do that? 4. Summary discussion questions. This type of question will brainstorm various ideas among the students in the class to exchange knowledge and compare thinking methods and answers. Using summary discussion questions is an important step in the thinking process. Mathematics is an opportunity for students to express their ideas. Then I got a response from other people that what I thought was true. However, it also encourages students to learn. Evaluate your own work. Examples of summary discussion questions include: who got the same answer as this friend? Who got a different answer? Did everyone get the same answer? Why is it like that? Why isn't this so? Have we found every possible answer yet? How do we know? Have students thought of other methods? Do students think we have given the best answer yet? In addition to categorizing questions into categories, including initial questions, thought-provoking questions, mathematics measurement and evaluation questions, summary discussion questions, we may classify questions according to their level. Thinking when talking about the level of thinking. Many people probably think of Bloom's theory, Bloom's taxonomy. According to Bloom's theory divides thinking levels into levels, from lowest to highest level as follows. 1. Knowledge and memory. 2. Comprehension. 3. Application. 4. Analysis. 5. Synthesis. 6. Evaluation. Sanders divided the levels of understanding into 2 levels, translation and interpretation. Interpretation. So we have 7 levels of thinking as follows. 1. Knowledge and memory. Students can remember information or tell what you remember too. Interpreting. Students can transform information into symbols or language. 3. Interpretation. Students discover relationships between various facts, general images, definitions, differences, various skills. 4. Application. Students will be able to solve problems that are similar to everyday situations, which will be problems where students must understand the problem and choose a method to deal with it. 5. Analysis. Students can solve problems using systematic thinking. 6. Synthesis. Students can solve problems that require creative thinking. 7. Evaluation. Students can judge whether it is good or bad, right or wrong according to their own standards. Example questions that correspond to each level of thinking. Level 1. Knowledge and memory. Example questions that teachers can use with students. For example, the teacher might ask that what we have done, is there anything that can help us solve this problem? Level 2. Interpretation. Examples questions such as, how did the student write? What did the student discover? Is there a way to save it to help me see more of the pattern? Level 3. Interpretation. Examples. Questions such as, what are the same? What are the differences? Can you group these things? Can you see 2 patterns? Level 4. Application. Example questions such as, how does this pattern help students find the answer? What do you think the next picture will be? Why do you think so? Level 5. Analysis. Examples questions such as, what did the students discover? How? Why do students think this way? What makes them decide to do so? Level 6. Synthesis. Example questions such as, who got a different answer? Everyone got an answer. Are they the same or not? Why do we get the same answers? Why don't we get the same answers? What if? Level 7. Evaluation. Example questions such as, have we discovered all possible answers? How do we know if the student has thought of another way to find the answer? Does the student think we have found a good answer? Is it the end yet? Summary of problems in the mathematics teaching process at the elementary level. As for the students, teachers are of the opinion that the reason why Thai children are weak in mathematics, it is caused by students not liking to think. likes to solve problems, lacks regular practice and self-review. Teacher side: the teachers had the same opinions as the children on only 4 issues. The teacher had the students read it for themselves and then come to their own conclusions. Come take the exam. The teacher has poor knowledge, lack of self-confidence. Teachers do not directly graduate from the field of mathematics, and teachers are not open-minded. Allowing students to answer independently causes Thai children to be weak in mathematics.